The sleepy, dusty town of Colorado City, Arizona, nestled in one of the most remote corners of the Southwest. For years, neglected. But no more. The harsh glare of the national spotlight is now focused on this secretive community and its polygamous leader on the run. It's a saga that has been unfolding here on 3TV as we revealed the deeply hidden secrets of the polygamous culture and introduced you to the brave women who escaped and came forward hoping to save others. But now the whole world is listening, watching, and waiting as authorities hunt down polygamous prophet Warren Jeffs, the FBI's newest, most wanted man. Good evening, Arizona. I'm Patty Kirkpatrick. Warren Steed Jeffs' picture is now side by side with criminals like terrorist Osama bin Laden. And like the FBI's 9 other most wanted men, authorities consider Jeffs armed and dangerous. Our Mike Watkiss first turned the spotlight on Jeffs' fundamentalist sect nearly a quarter of a century ago. And now the world just can't get enough.
We're grateful to the FBI for including Warren Jeffs on the top 10 most wanted list. It puts him in some extraordinary company, including people like Osama bin Laden.
Call it the shot heard round the world. The inclusion of fugitive polygamous prophet Warren Steed Jeffs on the FBI's notorious 10 most wanted list.
As with any individual in the top 10 list, the reward goes up to $100,000.
Since that dramatic announcement Saturday night, suddenly everybody's talking about this story. A story pioneered by our own 3TV senior reporter Mike Watkiss. A man whose own ancestors include polygamists, and who for nearly 30 years has tenaciously pursued the intimate and often dangerous tales from inside America's polygamous underworld.
This sect separated from the mainstream Mormons in 1890 after Mormonism banned polygamy.
And now as people around America, and indeed around the world, open their eyes to the forced marriages of young girls, to the systematic exiling of young boys, and to the rampant abuse of welfare and tax dollars inside Prophet Warren Jeffs' strongholds like Colorado City, Mike Watkiss' decades of expertise is now being tapped by media outlets around the world to help tell their stories. From Larry King Live.
It's wonderful that this is now being exposed on a level of CNN and with you, because really it is in the toxic garden of secrecy that this has been allowed to go on for so many generations.
To Dr. Phil.
Now, journalist Mike Watkiss spent years risking his life to document what goes on inside this fascinating and dangerous community.
Are you a polygamist?
I'm not going to answer that. It's none of your business.
I wish I wouldn't have got married when I was 16. Because I'm too young to have 3 kids.
Other couples fell under Jeff's control in more devious ways.
From America's Most Wanted.
So these young women who are married to these men, while they're married and they act as husband and wife, they march into the welfare office and sign up as unwed mothers, and they want assistance for their 8 children. They refer to it as bleeding the beast.
To MSNBC.
The girls have no education, no opportunities, no contact with the outside world, and they're told, you marry when we tell you to marry, and they recognize if you don't marry the girls at 14, 15, and 16 and allow them to get 20, 21, they'll get a mind of their own and they'll never sign on to this.
The bottom line, for decades, abuse associated with polygamy has been allowed to grow and flourish in a world of secrecy. But now, thanks to reporters like our own Mike Watkiss and some courageous women who have escaped, the secrets have been exposed and the light of day is shining in. And Warren Jeffs is on the run. And it's been a long time coming, Mike. And, I think what we don't realize and what has been overlooked, that these people truly are criminals and dangerous people, and you've had some serious confrontations with some of these folks.
Most of the people are wonderful people, but certainly the leaders of that community are people who have all kinds of alleged wrongdoings. We have had confrontations over the years with the mayor, with the town marshal. We have a clip of that now, Patty.
I understand many of the law officers have young wives.
Well, I'm not going to comment on that. That's personal business, and you talk about your personal business.
I'm not married to teenage girls.
Neither am I.
Okay, are any of your officers?
No, they are not.
None of them. None of the law officers in this town are married.
Actually, I'll make no comment on that,
Make no
okay? It's
comment.
none of your business.
I'm not going to talk to you, Mike. I just don't want to even say one word to you.
Why?
Oh, because you're scum.
That, of course, the former Mayor Dan Barlow, and here perhaps our most famous confrontational interview with polygamous cop Rod Holm, shortly before he was sent to jail for taking an underage bride, 16-year-old Ruth Stubbs, a very famous story. Patty, we in no way want to give the impression that we were alone in this crusade. A lot of people have had a significant hand. A journalist from the New Times, John Doherty, has done a lot of good work. But the real heroes of this story are a handful of women who had the courage to get out and say, we don't want this to happen to our sisters, our nieces. And we've got some Flora Jessup, perhaps one of the most famous. She's just done an extraordinary job. One of her childhood colleagues, Penny Peterson, who has been one of the real forces behind the scenes, another real hero. She has done a lot to help women and girls get out of there. And of course, the two young fawns, two beautiful young girls who got out, trying to make lives on the outside world now.
Did one of them go back, though?
They haven't gone back. They're living in the community. And then you saw the last clip there with the famous Ruth Stubbs. These are the heroic women who have changed Arizona's history. We're going to continue to follow this story, but they are my inspiration.
Well, Mike, it must be very gratifying for you after all these years to see this house finally come crumbling down and Warren Jeffs, as you say, on the run. And
we just want to stop the abuses.
He's going to be caught.
We just want to stop the abuses of the women and the children.
Well, I'm proud to know you. I'm proud to be associated with you.
Thank you very much.
Just appreciate all your hard work. Mike, truly the expert on the story of this polygamous community and its leader on the run.